Hey guys, Level Cap here, and welcome to another episode of This Week in Gaming. A Battlefield 1 in-game Easter egg has revealed the release date of the Battlefield 2018's teaser trailer or reveal. Players found the Easter egg on the map Fort DAYZ behind a door that has been locked since the map was added to the game with the They Shall Not Pass DLC. The door was opened after players discovered several buttons throughout the map that unlocked it when pressed in a specific order. In the room, they found a painting of a white horse and water dripping to spell out a URL in Morse code. That URL led to this website. DAYZ have been hinting at a teaser trailer being worked on for this year's Battlefield title over the past 2 months, and E3 is just around the corner, so a May 23rd teaser trailer release makes a lot of sense. The Battlefield 1 Twitter account has also been sending out more Morse code messages. One of them reads, "Good work, but this is just the beginning. The Battlefield will never be the same." The URL on the May 23rd website also says never be the same in the URL. So this is a reoccurring theme here. Now, based on the recent EA investors call and some additional inside information that I got, there's a very strong message that a lot of things are changing in the next Battlefield game, and it's not just from Battlefield 1, but rather from a long era or a long history of Battlefield being one way, and now it might be a different way. Again, this is very vague, but it's interesting information. I'm curious to see what it actually means. Now, when it comes to the loot crate fiasco that was brought on by the extremely predatory loot crate model in Star Wars Battlefront 2, EA isn't backing down just yet. This whole fiasco created a lot of legislation, set a lot of things in motion, and in fact several European nations have banned loot crates, or rather classified them as gambling, meaning that any publisher using a loot crate system is going to have to redesign their microtransaction system or stop selling their games in those countries. Nothing's come of it just yet. I'm not sure what the timeline is for these to take effect, but EA isn't backing down from their stance, and that's not surprising because a lot of countries aren't ruling that loot crates are a form of gambling, and considering that FIFA probably makes a huge amount of EA's profit via their loot crate style system, EA is not going to redesign that whole system without a fight. You're not going to just give up a massive percentage of your company's profits. In their earnings call, they said that they're going to push them in a transparent, fun, fair, and balanced way. What this means is somewhat ambiguous, but it certainly means that EA is going to do whatever they can to keep the loot crate system alive and running. We'll just have to wait and see what the future holds regarding loot crates and video games. Now, EA has also committed to a March 2019 release window for their upcoming open-world looter shooter Anthem. This game was revealed at last year's E3 with a full gameplay trailer and 2018 release date, but was delayed a few months later. Anthem will be playable ahead of launch, likely as a beta or early access release. PUBG's new map, the Tropical Island, previously known as Savage, now renamed to Sanhok, is currently available on the game's experimental test server. Work has continued on the map since its last closed testing phase, with 4 new added areas, improvements to existing areas and buildings, and changes to the loot balance across the map. The patch also includes an update to the red zone. It will now only spawn in the areas between the safe zone and where the following circle is going to be. Unfortunately, the map is currently running very poorly for most players. The game's forum and subreddit have been dominated by posts claiming overall lower performance than the game's live server. Obviously, the map is still unfinished, and hopefully that means there will be more optimization on final release. But the live server version is also not running so great these days. Many players have reported freezing and stuttering issues for a few weeks now, the assumption being that the game's newest anti-cheat client implementation is the root of the cause. The devs are aware of these issues but haven't discussed what is being done about them. Fortnite's latest event is a tie-in with the latest Avengers movie, Infinity War. The biggest game in the world working with the biggest movie in the world seems like a match made in heaven. It spawns the Infinity Gauntlet somewhere randomly on the map. The player that finds it gets to play as Thanos until someone kills them, dropping the gauntlet for other players to pick up. It's going through some balancing changes right now, but it is pretty entertaining to watch. The new operators coming to Rainbow Six Siege and Operation Parabellum were featured in a trailer for the upcoming Siege Pro League Finals. It's just a quick snippet of them, but it does possibly confirm Alibi's rumored holographic projection ability. Changes to existing operators will be implemented with Parabellum. Echo, in particular, is getting his drone buffed. He'll get 2 of them instead of just 1. Operator movement speed is also being adjusted across the board to balance out the value of armor versus speed. 3 speed operators will move slightly slower, while 1 speed operators will get a slight speed buff. Walmart Canada accidentally spilled the beans on a number of upcoming titles via placeholder listings. Titles include a few we know, like Super Smash Bros., Destiny 2's Comet expansion, and Insurgency Sandstorm, but they also included some new titles that haven't been announced yet. Some of note are Rage 2, Splinter Cell, and Borderlands 3. It seems likely that Bethesda is in fact developing a sequel to the 2010 pseudo-open world shooter Rage, as their social media accounts have started teasing Rage 2. The teaser hints at a May 14 announcement of some kind. Rage was a very interesting, ambitious, but ultimately flawed title. It featured innovative enemy AI and some very gorgeous visuals, but a lackluster story and a lot of technical problems. Considering Bethesda's recent track record with their single-player titles, it'd be great to see what they do with a new Rage title. Valve is releasing a Steam Link client for iOS and Android devices on May 21st. It will be a free download that enables remote streaming of games to phones, tablets, and other devices that support the app, like Apple TV. You'll still need your own PC and a Steam library to run games from, but being able to play your entire Steam library on a phone sounds pretty incredible. The app will feature support for controller input, including the Steam controller and other MFI controllers. Valve are also releasing a Steam video app that will enable playback of any movie or other video content in your Steam library. The upcoming single-player open-world zombie game DAYZ Gone now has a release date of early 2019. It was first revealed at last year's E3 and featured some very impressive enemy counts. Along with the release date, new footage of the game and some additional details were revealed. It sounds like the game will feature more open-ended mission structures like Far Cry 5, letting you build bases, level up, and complete some side quests. Star Trek Bridge Crew is getting a pretty big expansion. It adds content from the show's Next Generation era, including Captain Picard's Enterprise, the Next Generation uniforms, Romulans, the Borg, and an android race option, which is very similar to the show's famous Data character. The DLC also includes a new role called Operations with a resource management system similar to the one in the indie hit FTL. Bridge Crew was originally a VR-only title, but has been patched to support standard PS4 and PC controls. It also supports crossplay between VR and standard players. The Next Generation DLC releases on the 22nd for PS4 and July 21st on PC. DAYZ's creative director, Brian Hicks, is leaving the game's studio Bohemia Interactive. He spent 5 years at the company working on DayZ and essentially took over writing when the game's creator, Dean Hall, left the company in 2014. What this means for DayZ's continued development is likely not much. Brian Hicks expressed full confidence in the game's team and assured players that the future of the game has all been discussed and well documented. Wild West Online has launched to mostly negative reviews. Most players seem to be reporting a wide variety of bugs and gameplay issues, with many focusing on the game's microtransaction system being very pay-to-win and a general lack of content overall. As feared by many, given the developer's history, this game does appear to be a bit of a cash grab style title that is feeding off of a lot of the hype for the upcoming Red Dead Redemption 2. A new cinematic trailer for the 4-player co-op game Overkill's The Walking Dead has been released. It reveals the game's third playable character, Grant. He will likely be the game's sniper character and is looking for his missing granddaughter. Like the 2 previous character trailers, Grant doesn't reveal anything in the way of actual gameplay, but does showcase the game's focus on story and characters. If the story in the game is anywhere near as interesting as these trailers, it should actually be pretty good. This is really the first proper game set in the Walking Dead universe outside of Telltale's point-and-click adventure games. A full gameplay reveal is expected to happen at E3. The official reveal trailer for Atomic Heart has been released. It showcases the game's alternative history version of the Soviet Union and a BioShock-esque gameplay. Visually, the game looks pretty stunning. It features several unique locations and a lot of weapons to choose from. It's expected to release sometime this year. In our final story this week, the recent crypto mining boom and subsequent fall has led to a loss of nearly $200 million for NVIDIA. That's a 67% drop in crypto-related revenue. That said, NVIDIA are still in the green with a massive Q1 earnings amounting to $1.7 billion in revenue. And that wraps it up for today's episode of This Week in Gaming. As always, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap, signing off.